Ooh, video by candlelight. Anyway, so I mentioned in a different video about our time in France when we had a trailer in France, a caravan in France, and I had an awful lot of spiritual experiences out there. And one that I do really like to remember is when I did my first spell out there. I mean, I must have been 13, I think. So our trailer was by the woods in the south of France, all surrounded by nature. We did have that. Well, it was a very, very busy site. There were lots of other people there, and a lot of them were Roma anyway, and they were teaching me stuff that I would never have learned in England. Just because, you know, Roma traditions, especially with French Roma, are very, very different to English. And my mum's side are French Calderage. And that's Calderage, should I say. So we were getting ready. We'd been out there a while, and our stay got extended by, I think it must have been about a week or so. And we were planning to come back home to England. Not for long, or we wouldn't have been home long enough. We would have ended up going somewhere else. So we were there, and I'd already started making my own like magical book and stuff like that. Book of Shadows is what they call it, and we have a different name for it, but I won't repeat what it is. It's for our culture only. So I started writing in it and stuff like that. But I come across a spell from a different book. It wasn't a Romany book. It was just a standard like protection spell. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to give this a go before we come back home. You know, protect our home out here, protect the trailer, protect you know, the people around us. Did the spell, and just as I got to the end of it, like a wind kicked up. I really didn't think much of it. I really didn't. So we came back home the next day. And then it must have been about a week later, we'd heard about a mini tornado that had swept through the trailer, the caravan park that we were staying at. And it'd been a site that we had been on for, on and off for about 2 years. So we knew the area very, very well. And there was a man-made lake not close by, and obviously that got flooded and stuff like that. But it was literally a freak storm. I mean, it's very hot out there in the summer anyway. But we didn't get that many storms, not in that area. But it was a hurricane that had ripped through the site, and it destroyed 90% of the trailers that were there. And actually, a little girl got killed from the force of the hurricane. The trailer, obviously, because they're very light, and it wasn't chained to the floor because they're mobile trailers. It got lifted up with her inside of it and smashed back. Anyway, she died a not a very nice way. You may ask me, okay, well, how was that protection? There were only 2 caravans, 2 trailers that were untouched. Ours and our relatives in the trailer next door. The whole site was destroyed except our trailer and the trailer next to us. It was so bad that a little girl died. The whole site got flooded because of the lake that they had there, and obviously all the torrential rain and stuff like that. But our caravan and the one next to us, the static, were completely fine, not a scratch on them. So that was the first one I ever did. And as I mentioned very briefly before, like when I was out in France is when a lot of my own spiritual talents really started to come to the surface. And I think a lot of it is because I was around, it was more of an ancestral home than England ever has been. Like I said, like my family only come to England in the turn of the 1800s. We've not been here that long. And a lot of my mum's side are from that region, the Roma that travelled through there, spent a lot of time in France and Spain. Yeah, so that was that one. I think I'll upload some other experiences as well. There's one that I'm considering talking about, but I'm not sure that I should. So I'll kind of leave that there, and that'll take some deciding, I think, before I'm 100% on that. More to come soon.